Hi friends, welcome to my new video. I am presently at the David Hall Gallery and Cafe of CGH Experience at Fort Kochi. Let me introduce Binu Kochi, the manager of David Hall.
It's a very old Dutch building, approximately of 340 years old. The history says around 1665, the time where the Dutch army entered here and conquered the Portuguese, so many buildings were demolished. Later they started making the building, so the architects from Netherlands, this has become the house of the Dutch governors, David Hall. And there are three bungalows around here. This is one of the main building. Also, right now the David Hall is under the CNA, which is called the Cultural Netherlands Organization, which comes under the Dutch. And I represent the CJ Church Group, and we maintain this building right now. It's a place for the artists to meet up and share their ideas and do their drawings and paintings. And you can see the collections of the paintings, it's all from the different artists, more from Kerala and few from the North India. So you can see the height, which is almost like more than 4 floors, and it's purely supported with the ship engineers and the Netherlands architects. So you can see the windows, which is more bigger, so the more air circulation to just passing through. Few of the collections, you can see this in. This is one of the well-known artists, which is called Bala Murli, and is named as the portrait of the grilled eyes. That's a theme of this painting. So all acrylic and all in different thoughts, different emotions they express with the artist. Dutch ruled out here almost like 110 years, supporting the army power to the King of Kochi, and instead they take all spices. So the Dutch East India Company, which involved with a lot of spices trade here, and David Hall became the house of the Dutch governors. One of the historic fact is the governor Hendrik van Riet, who composed the book called Hortus Malabaricus, means the Garden of Malabar.
Today, I'm going to introduce the flag off ceremony of Indian Coastal Cycle Expedition edition.
I'm just doing one music which is called the Havana. It's a very old English music, and just playing this thing. I'm basically a guitarist, also do with a little bit of keyboard. Thank you.
At a time when fuel prices continue to rise, two men from Maharashtra, Mr. Milan Tambe and Mr. Sriram, decided to cycle over 6,500 kilometers in 101 days along the Indian coastline with a message to promote sustainable travel with the hashtag burn fat not fuel. They also documenting the extent of plastic and marine pollution while they pedal across 9 states in their bid to promote sustainable travel.
Indian coastal cycling expedition, which will be covering around 6,800 kilometers in 101 days. We have Mr. Milind Tambe and Mr. Sriram, all the way from Maharashtra here. So, on this occasion, may I invite Mr. Biju to please welcome all the guests and our honorable cyclists.
On behalf of all of you here, I extend a warm welcome to Mr. KJ Sohan. My wholehearted welcome to both of you. We have been together for quite some time, and we definitely know they are moving across with a beautiful message: burn fat and not fuel.
So, may I welcome Mr. Milind Tambe.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
That's it. That's the spirit. When I retired from the Navy, 31st March 1998, it just struck me that being in the Navy, I've seen the entire Indian coast. I thought someday I will see the full three seas, the Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean, and the Arabian Sea, from every mile of the coast. It was now in December last, when myself and Sriram, we were out onto a Himalayan trek, that it struck me that I had a dream. What happened to that? And that's when I thought, walking all this 6,800 kilometers now, especially during the COVID times, may not be really practical. So I asked him, shall we pedal? And he was the first one to say, what's there to ask? Let's start. So that's how it all started. So this is a part of my little dream which I had. Now, having that dream, then I had some of core values which I wanted to pass on. I'm a very strong proponent of sustainable travel. Now, what is sustainable travel? Sustainable travel is not just about how you travel. It's what you do during travel. If you don't take due care of what you are doing, it's all a culmination and adding up to social nuisance. Another benefit that we realized, both of us, in the last 14 days is going slow at about 10 to 15 kilometers an hour. You see many more things which otherwise you simply zoom past. You don't even notice them. We went into such small village lanes, by lanes, sir, that probably no Indian tourist has gone there. I can honestly put my hand on my heart and say no tourist has gone there. We went into some small fishing hamlets with the cycle, and such a beauty, so beautiful people everywhere. Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, beautiful people. This is something which you miss when you travel at a fast pace. So that's another thing. Now, another coming back to that sustainable travel, what I told you about the plastic. We are doing a study of the beaches that we encounter all along the coast. We have done quite a bit of study. We've gathered quite a bit of data as well. What we have realized is many of the beaches that are polluted in the sense not with marine oil or something, but with plastic. The majority of the plastic, I would say about 65 to 70% of the plastic that we saw was single-use plastics. We urban people are ruining our environment. So shouldn't we be thinking before we buy and before we check out things? So these are some messages. Of course, and because we have been mandated by the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs to actually go to schools and talk to children. But unfortunately, because of the COVID situation, that has not become possible. School along the way and talk to children and pass on this message. So that you pass on this message at a younger stage, it stays long. So these were 2-3 messages that I wanted to pass through this, and that's how our hashtag burn fat not fuel was formed. So anywhere on Instagram or Facebook you see burn fat not fuel, you will find our 2 pictures and our 2 stories coming up. So that was for it, and we hope that we are able to pass on this message all along the remaining 6,100 kilometers that are left. and let's see how it goes. We are so far we have been enjoying this ride. We have been getting immense support from all our fraternity wherever we went. And I'm both on behalf of Sriram, I would really thank each and every one of you, including Suhan sir, who has taken the time to come here and give us the encouragement. This is something which really boosts us up. We have been having our own shares of problems and difficulties, yes, but that's a part of the expedition. I mean, who other than our good friend who has ran all the length of India can tell us? But yes, we are able to encounter that, and we are taking it one day at a time. So thank you very much once again for this. And this is a really lovely gathering. Thank you so much.
Former Mayor of Kochi, Sri KG Sohan, to address the audience.
So nice to see you all. And I must thank Jose Dominic, who is the owner of the place. This is the right place for such an occasion. Milind and Sriram, they are the occasion for all of us to be here. Maybe take 5 minutes off to think of nature and the ecosystem and rebalancing everything. Mother Nature has been every day pounding us, saying that, think of me, think of me. Every day the rains and the coastal route that they are taking, one after the other, the cyclones. This year this is the 8th cyclone we had in the Arabian Sea. This is the first time we are having such a continuous chain of cyclones. So all these are warnings which, as a personification, both of them are bringing before us. Just look back, give back to nature what it is. I think you will be taking the coastal road. There is a coastal road that goes 63 kilometers to Alleppey. And it's a beautiful road. It goes within 500 meters of the coast. Wherever you go, it is 500 meters of the coast. And the sea is battering the whole coast. Right from the place you are coming from Maharashtra to Kanyakumari, that is the most highly erosion-prone area in India. The sea is getting in everywhere, throughout this coast. And the people are fleeing from there. Every year you see that one. And we are responsible for all that. This is the message that they bring here. This is something connected to the sea. And both our friends are also ex-mariners. I must thank all of you for coming along, being with us, and making Fort Cochin a kick-off point for your for the next leg of your journey. Wish you well, and wish the ideals that propel you to do this also propel us to do some small things so that we do not tamper much with nature. As Father of the Nation said, be the change you want to see. You be the change. So we have to be the change. This is the only place where 3 European powers have come and dominated 1.5 centuries each. And this is the only place where for 450 years continuously European rule was here. So in such a place, in Delhi it was only 90 years the European rule, the Mughals were there. So this place, when the Union Jack came down, it ended 4.5 centuries of colonial rule. And when the national flag went up, that is the moment. You know, the then British Army turned into the national. So this bit of land, you must have gone around. It's a very unique place. We have preserved it as a heritage zone. And I take pride in standing here, not as a former mayor of Cochin. I take pride in standing here as the convener of the Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage. Intact, it is the... So, because we have been able over the last 30 years to try and preserve this place like this. Otherwise, huge buildings would have come here. It is not because people do not have money that they are not demolishing it. It's because the law is there. People are conscious. And the world comes here because of the European contacts. And we also had Arabs and Chinese coming here. All the footprints are here. We have the Chinese net. So many things that tell stories of the past that has taken us to this point where both our friends can cycle all along. All these did not happen overnight. It took centuries. And some of those things that we did over the centuries, we have to undo. Our generation, your generation, and the coming generation. We belong to the sunset generation. And many of you are in the sunrise or in the noon of your life. So this message that they bring just kindles some thoughts in our minds. Thank you all, thank you both of you and all those who backed them for this occasion. and let us all inculcate or imbibe the message that they carry when we go back from here. Thank you and good wishes. Happy journey.
Thank you so much, sir.
The guests on stage are Mr. Murali, Mr. Ram Ratan, K2K runner, world record holder, Sri KJ Sohan, former mayor of Kochi, Mr. Milan Tambe, Mr. Sriram, Commander Unnikrishnan, and vote of thanks by Commander Ajay.
I have been working as a marine consultant and a marine surveyor. Presently, own a small little business of my own since 2005, dealing into marine surveying and marine casualty response management. And this was my dream to cycle along the entire coast of India. Initially to walk along the coast, and then later on it transformed into cycling. And that's how I'm cycling here with my friend Sriram. So far we have covered about 900 odd kilometers, 6,100 kilometers more to go. A nice experience overall, and we hope this is going to be a fantastic journey for all of us. And as my friend Ram Ratan said, yes, being a dream, I'm actually living my dream today. So this is something which I would again like to tell everyone. Pursue your dreams, pursue your passions, and life certainly is always beautiful. Thank you so much.
The Kochi lap of the Indian Coastal Cycle Expedition is flagged off by the chief guest Sri KJ Sohan, former mayor of Kochi. Today, cyclists will pedal till Alapi, which is about 63 kilometers.
Thank you.
Having an eminent personality from Fort Cochin, Sri KJ Sohan, the former mayor of Kochi Corporation. Sir, please let me know your preparation for this year's Cochin Carnival, and also how you're going to welcome the tourists to Fort Kochi.
We missed the carnival last year. Not only Cochin, but the whole world missed their festivities because of the corona. And the pandemic just swept up everything, all the sand from under our feet. So we could not, as you understand, we could not have the carnival or any celebrations last year. This year, the committee, I was there at the meeting of the sub-collector who was the chairman of the carnival, and the preparations they made, all the youngsters who are the main organizers, the clubs, they are all ready to come back with a bang. But the big question is whether we will get permission to conduct it, because the pandemic has not completely gone away. And every day the threat of retake of the pandemic is looming before our heads. So, but then the preparations are there. As every year, we start off the carnival celebrations on the second Sunday of December with a ceremony of solidarity ceremony where the armed forces under the INS Dronacharya, the sub-collector, the mayor, the city council, everybody comes to the war memorial. They lay wreaths before the war memorial, and they remember all those who sacrificed their lives for the country, and pray that no more wars take place. So that's a solemn ceremony, and the ex-servicemen take a pledge. Similarly, all the VIPs give a message. So with that, we start off the carnival, and then we go to the third Sunday of December, where the flag hoisting is held at the Vasco da Gama Square, and all the carnival flag is hoisted by the MLA, and then the participating clubs, their flags are hoisted by them. Then from that day onwards, evening we have functions, some cultural program. Everything is planned as every year, decoration of the road. But the limitation, that limitation of the permission that we get from the government is awaited. Till then, all the other programs will go on. The 31st night program at the parade ground where you burn the Papani, and then the first rally that will have to get clearance from the government. The other programs, as I attended the meeting, other programs are on the anvil. It is going on as scheduled. So with that, I think the tourism season will come back to Fort Cochin. Fort Cochin, as you know, 50% of the economy survives on tourism. Now, bringing back tourism is very important, and to make it a very friendly and clear place. The attempts are going. Government is also supportive, and the municipal council has also offered support for this. So I think it will be a good year for us away from the pandemic.
Thank you so much, sir. Wishing you all the best for the coming New Year celebration.
Thanks to Sri KJ Sohan, former mayor of Kochi, Sri Jose Dominic, founder Casino Group of Hotels, CGH Experience, Sri Binu Kochi, manager David Hall, Fort Kochi, Naval Veterans and Ex-Servicemen Association of Kochi, and all the organizers who made this event a grand success. The details of the Indian Coastal Cycle Expedition and the David Hall details will be given in the description box. Don't forget to like and share my videos. Comment below and let me know how you liked it. Please do subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of fun videos coming up next. So see you in the next video.